feel like a ghost. I look like a ghost. I really do. I wish I looked prettier right now, but I still have to say this before I actually forget it. So here we are. So welcome to my pumpkin face. Yo, let me just say this. When you're choosing a spouse, choose them based on what you will need 5-10 years down the line. Don't choose them based on what you think you need right now, because most of the time the things you think you need right now are usually just wants. Say for example you are a workaholic. I'm talking to the workaholics, and like I am, you're working late nights, you're practically you don't even know when your day begins and when your day ends, because everything just merges into one another, right? So right now, like when you're looking for a relationship, of course innately humans they need community. So you need somebody because you need a companion, you need a spouse, obviously. But girl, you work hard. So currently you don't necessarily, because you're busy, you're running your world, you're building an empire. So currently you don't necessarily feel like, you want somebody who's too clingy or, needy, or, somebody that's going to want to know like how you're doing every second. So you're cool with the person being distant. You're cool with the person communicating when they have the time, to communicate, and you guys will catch up a little bit, you'll inspire one another, you'll be like, yeah, do this, I try to do, and then you both are running your own worlds. So you're like, what, currently I don't think I need somebody who is that continuously, hello, how you doing, good morning, because you feel like if the person is good morning and helloing me, then clearly his schedule must be free, right? He's not working, he's not being as busy as I am right now. So currently, daddy, I can manage with you right now. Okay, I just need somebody that will do with my needs right now. So you don't want somebody who's like consistently there. You don't need somebody who communicates, right, as much as you want to, or you don't even think about it because you don't want them to right now. But what will you need 10 years down the line? Women are nesters, guys. Women nest. Woman nest. Meaning eventually, especially if you are a girl who's working so hard right now, because eventually you want to settle down, because you want to rest eventually, because you want kids, and you want to run a home eventually, right? When you're single and you don't got babies that are screaming and stuff, it's cool to hustle hard and it's fine, that's cool. But 10 years down the line, when you're a mommy, what will you actually need from your spouse? So choose a person based on what you will need. So you will need somebody who is consistent. You'll need somebody who's reliable. You'll need somebody who can drop anything at any given moment. You need somebody who will value family more than they value business. Yeah, and I know it's a horrible thing to say, especially for people who are hustling. Yeah, how are we gonna hustle? How if business is no. I mean it from the depths of my heart. You need somebody who will value family more than they'll value business. You need somebody who will be like, what? Currently, my wife needs this and this, and my kids currently need me to be the guy who works 8 to 5. Right now, that's what my family needs. I know it's not bringing in the big bucks. I know it's not like the big contracts. I know it's not like the biggest tenders. I know I'm not running the world right now, like I used to when I was my own boss. But currently, what my family needs is for me to have a boss, is for me to work 8 to 5, because I need to be home by a certain time, right? Because I got little kids now that I need to go read to. I got a wife whose feet I need to go and massage because she's heavily pregnant right now, right? Currently, what my wife needs is not somebody who's like traveling left, right, and is only in town for like a weekend. And even that weekend, I'm not really giving them attention because I'm sleeping, or I'm resting, or I'm re-strategizing for the next week because I need to be on the field again. Currently, what my family needs is for me to be present, even if it means I don't get to bring in the big bucks, even if it means I don't get to be my own boss. So you need somebody who's willing to put family first. Because building healthy family structures is quite important for yourself, but as well as for society. God values family, right? So when you're planning ahead, don't just be like, you know what? Oh my God, he's so ambitious. He's so driven. He's so this, he's so that. What will you need in the next 5 to 10 years? If this person does not communicate to you vulnerably, honestly, earnestly now, how do you expect 10 years down the line, you know what, when your kids are, you know what, moving out of the house, or, you know, when it's just the two of you, or when, you know, you really need to sit down and talk about, yo, man, our kids are entering into the age of, you know, they're teenagers and hormones everywhere. We need a new strategy on how to discipline them. We need a new strategy on how to teach them about the Word of God. We need, because we've been here as well, but we've never been mentored through this phase of our life where they're questioning their sexuality and they're questioning, you know, love, and, you know, they want attention and they want to date. And how do we sit down as a couple and pray about it together? How do we come up with a strategy of communication? How do we like, you know what, baby, let's divide and conquer. You first implant this thought, because they will not listen to you, but then later on I will come behind like this one, because this one listens to me more than they actually listen to you. This one is currently, the boys are currently in rebellion with you, so let me try and have a strategy on this side. Currently the girl is in rebellion with you, you know, so let me try it this way, right? How will you do that if you don't have a consistent communication? How will you do that when you're like, yo babes, did you hear that? Like, yo, let's, yeah, I did. No, you know what? Don't address it right now. Let's go sit. Let's go pray about it. Like, you need somebody like that. So you need to draw out those characteristics in the person right now. Of course, don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean that the way that you marry the person right now will be the way that they are for the rest of their lives. Because people grow, people evolve, people change, people grow, right? And so yes, we will grow into, like, I don't have kids. So eventually when I have children, I will grow into my role as a mother. Right? Eventually I will grow into my role as a wife who's married for 3 years. I'll grow into my role as a person who probably has to balance, you know what, preaching and working. I'll probably grow into the person that has to, you know what, run 2 businesses now, right? I'll go every phase of our life, I will grow. So you need to also look at, is this person willing to grow while they set in their ways? Is this person willing to, you know what, if something eventually you go, because you don't know each other. When you're dating comrades, we don't really know each other. We like each other. We like the way we talk. We like the way they reason. Wow, this person is really intelligent. Oh my goodness, this is so cute. Right? It's later on that you'll actually get, but the thing is, they will present characteristics. They'll present character traits of who they are. And those are the things that you really need to look at when you're choosing a spouse. Before you say yes to that person, you must be like, okay, cool. And ask them strategic questions. Really, you know, ask them questions that may not necessarily be direct, but it still gives you an answer in terms of, okay, cool. Let me structure this question in this particular way. How do they think? Is there room for them to sit and actually think about it? Like, please look at character traits that you would need down the line, not right now. Not like, you know what, he's so cute, he could pick me up right now. Ooh. Or be like, oh, you know what, the way he just worships right now. And no, but you should be like, you know what, how is this man still gonna worship God when things are not okay? How will he honor God? How will he relate to me when we are broke? Because a lot of people hide behind the arrogance or supposedly the confidence of financial security. So you really also need to be like, you know what, examine how would this person be like do activities that would push boundaries though, right? Where you're like, how would this person manage this had we not have the money? Because some people, you'll think, oh, you know what, I really like him. Oh, he's so confident. You know, he just exudes confidence, and, you know, he's really just bold. Sometimes they are like that, and they present confidence simply because they have the money to back it up. No, really. I've been that girl. I know. I've been in a position where I've practically been taking care of people my whole life. I've been in relationships where I was like, you know what, I was giving people like girlfriend allowances and, you know, because I was in a position to provide. And so I was very confident. But I realized there was a time I was in this relationship with this girl, and there was a time when I had to go back to school. And because I had to go back to school, I actually had to pay for my studies. And then I got really, 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 really pressed financially. And I couldn't provide, and, you know, because I couldn't, and my confidence really got put into a corner. And my attitude changed towards this person as well, right? Because I was beginning to be too controlling. Instead of sitting and communicating to this person and be like, yo, you know what? The financial situation is kind of like that has kind of changed a little bit, right? So I was hoping this is the pressure that I'm currently experiencing, and I don't really know, because I'm playing the role of provider. So currently, I don't necessarily know how I can still do that in this particular area. So maybe what I would need right now is, if we don't do this, right? If maybe we don't cook 3 times a day, maybe we can cook twice a day, right? So that I don't stress about, oh my God, food is gonna finish really fast. And, you know, could you help me with that, right? Or maybe communicate to the person and say, like, how do you think we could manage our finances? Maybe during this particular season, right? While I'm actually experiencing this kind of pressure from school and family and everything like that. Right? Instead of that, I was just like, I was just too stressed. I was too stressed, and it was coming out in other ways towards this particular person, right? And so those are some of the things that you really need to be like, how will this person handle financial pressure? How will they manage when we have the little? Are they willing to move out? If you're probably renting, right? Are they willing to move out of this 3-bedroom space and move into like a single bachelor flat? Like, are they willing, you know, to move into a ghetto with you while you're figuring things out? Are they willing to do inexpensive stuff right now, right? How will that affect their confidence? But confidence, especially for a man, is very, very important. Because that's usually how they relate, because they have this burden of being a provider. They have this burden of providing for security. They have this burden of, you know, protecting, even financially. So you should be like, you know, yes, right now they're confident, and right now, man, they sorted, because they've got money coming in, they've got money going out. They're good, you know, the cash flow looks good, right? You have a healthy cash flow. Right, you have a healthy surplus, so you're okay. But how will they handle the opposite? Are they willing to sell their car when that gets to happen, right? So date a person knowing this. Ask questions like, yo, you know what? How do you think probably you've handled financial pressures in the past, but you've handled it in a bad way? And what are the lessons that you've learned from that? When is it probably that you've really experienced struggles financially, and you did a great job with it? Like, whatever you know what I'm saying? Ask strategic questions, guys. Ask. I know we can and we can fall in love and get lost in those eyes and that subtle smile, and and when men are serious, and sometimes when men are serious and they just like, you know, they just get into that serious phase, and that those eyebrows are pulled, and, you know, they're talking about like their vision and their dreams and the things that they're currently doing, and, you know, the next 5 years plans. You can just get lost, girl. You can just get lost in those eyes. But really, that's something that the Holy Spirit was actually telling me, like, date a person based on what you will need in the next 10 years, not based on what you need right now. Because currently your needs that you have right now are mostly also based on lust, because I'm looking for somebody to, you know, or you're like, I'm looking for companionship, right? And so right now I really just need somebody that gives me attention. But please, I beg of you, I know we can really, really, really be emotional sometimes as women, but sit down and plan. Plan as a mother. Plan as a wife. Plan as somebody that's got a lot to lose in the future, and that it's dependent on the relationship that you have with this person, and if this person is gonna adapt, right? So you should also date on the adaptability of this person. Technically, that's all I wanted to say. If you have additional things that the Holy Spirit is teaching you, write them down, pray about that. When you meet a person, be like, okay, cool. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Ask questions. You know what I'm saying? Ask questions. That's why I think it's really, really important to date people. Not like you're in a full-time committed relationship, but no, like go out with different people if you can. Not to have sex with them or kiss them or whatever, but really just test the waters, like ask questions, get to know different people. Because sometimes, honestly, as Christian woman, as well, my pot is burning. So I gotta run. Sometimes even as Christian woman, we can be too virtuous, right? And then we're like, no, I'm just waiting for my husband. And when my husband comes, I'm gonna be in a relationship with him. No, go out with other people. And perhaps if you go out with other people, you go sit on a coffee date with them, like you find out a little bit about them. You could learn something in those dating that you could actually eventually also be able to ask your husband as well, right? So it gives you like healthy exposure. But yeah, I gotta run. I don't want to eat burnt food. So, ciao.